Hello and welcome to the Chilled Cardano podcast. I am Illinois, and this is Chilled Cardano, aka
What
Mike
it
and
is.
Eric.
What it is, baby boys.
What's up, y'all? To the moon, as we always say.
You got a dab on him too. Don't forget about the dabbing.
No cap, Mike.
No cap.
Low key, real into Cardano.
We're always busting for Cardano. Don't forget about us, guys. We bust hard.
What's going on in the charts, Mike? What do you think? Has anything exciting happened?
I mean, since last week, yeah. Cardano's just been creeping up. Real nice, we're at 63 cents right now, but I think the last time we talked, we were at
we did have 54? A special interview episode, so it's been a couple weeks.
It's been a couple tutor trees.
I think we were down in this region, maybe.
Yeah, maybe even lower. Yeah, it wasn't great. But we seem to be hitting a nice little bottom around 63 cents. And I think as we get closer and closer to that Vasil hard fork, we are going to hit closer to $1. That's just me. But
that's just you talking out of your ass.
Talking out of my ass, but also the sentiment seems to be changing around Cardano as well. I'm seeing a lot of Ethereum people starting to jump over. And I think all the issues they're having with their Ethereum proof of their merge to proof of stake isn't working out too well. They're doing a lot of reorganizations of the chain. They're missing blocks. It looks terrible. And I just don't think they have enough time to fix it before. They keep saying August, September, but it looks probably like closer to next year. I mean, it's pretty terrifying when you think like that they're trying to do this within a couple months. It's not realistic. And I mean, you see like the Twitterazzi people for Ethereum being like, oh, this is happening like in a couple weeks. Everyone's sleeping on this. And let's be honest, this shit's not happening. Regardless of how much they want to tweet about it and say that this is the future, we all know Cardano's the future. I mean, in about 2 weeks, we'll be one of the fastest chains out there. And then we're going to have another hard fork in October, which makes it even faster with input endorsers. I don't know if you've seen that video, but I forgot the dude's name, but the way he explains it about how so like the chain Cardano gets what is it? Every block is 20 seconds.
Oh.
Every block is 20 seconds. So it gets like and then like because of that, then the transactions in that 20-second block, that's when they get like certified or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like that's kind of why Cardano's kind of slow, because it takes 20 seconds for everyone's blocks to get verified, your transaction to go through. You gotta wait 20 seconds, your next ones. So like when you're doing smart contracts and shit like that, it kind of sucks because like it's like you do one transaction 20 seconds, another transaction another 20 seconds. But with input endorsers, you're going to have streaming transactions. So you're still getting your blocks certified every 20 seconds, but the transactions themselves can just keep going. And we don't need to wait to be like
they can work in parallel.
Yeah, and it's pretty fucking insane to think about how fast this thing can move once that happens. And then it just needs to reference the chain. And it's like some high math shit, some magic going behind the scenes, but that's what we're here for. And like once that shit happens, it's like Cardano's like the best chain for smart contracts at that point. Because I mean, Ethereum can't even move to proof of stake yet, so it's like we're already on the next step, and they're still trying to figure out how to move everybody over. So it's like we're not even playing their game anymore. We're on to the next level.
Yeah, we're trying to be as good as Solana now. The top tier chain.
Excuse me.
uh,
And you've been having it out. You've been having it out with the Solana boys this week, which has been pretty fun to watch. I don't know if you guys follow Eric on Twitter, but his shit with the Solana boys has been pretty fun. I mean, Eric's just got no filter, and it's kind of exciting to watch him just throwing out the beef.
You know, in my head, I was like, be nice, don't start fights with other chains, like we're all in it together. But sometimes
Fuck that.
sometimes I see all their shit talking and I'm like, you know what? Let me just throw out some angry tweets.
Let me just poke the
Funny but
bear.
angry. Yeah. It's kind of annoying to see like all those NFT like marketplaces and stuff where they're just not including Cardano in any of their statistics. And then people are asking like, "Hey, where's Cardano?" And then some of them just ignore you, or they'll ignore Ada Whale or something. But some of them are like, "Fine, we'll add it." But it's so annoying that we have to do that to get on like any like statistics website or stuff like that, like any aggregator. It's like there seems to be such a like a purposeful ignorance of Cardano, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like we're trying to battle against that, and you
Well, what do
kind
you
of have
think
to
that
be
is?
like
What do you
vocal.
think? What do you think that stems from? Do you think it's just like we're not loud enough as a community? We're not
No,
making
I think
enough
it just has
chatter?
to do with like the VCs back Solana, and they did back Luna, and they're heavily in Ethereum. So like, and Cardano is like pretty decentralized and doesn't really have VCs as much. So they know that they have to probably work a lot harder to like take over the chain, and they probably they don't want to see Cardano succeed. So when you have a lot of money, you can pay for like sentiment, you know? So on Twitter, you can buy bots, or you could, you know, make it
Right.
seem like the narrative is a certain way, even if there's a lot of humans that like Cardano. It's like there's plenty of influencers who shit on it. And then their rationale is so like weak, you know? It's always like, oh, Cardano sucks because like sometimes they don't even give a reason, but they'll be like, because it's so slow, or because it's a ghost chain, like no one actually buys NFTs on there. And it's like disingenuous, like they purposely use the wrong like statistics, or like stuff that you know is like calculated wrong, and people
Right.
will be like, oh, here's the actual number, and then they're like, nope, ignoring you, blocking you, like,
Well, even when it comes from like JPEG.store, they're like, no, this is the actual information you want to like look at. And they're like, for some reason, they're showing like less than $500,000 in sales and only 173 users.
yeah,
When it's like there's plenty of discords with over 6,000 people on Cardano alone. I can look at like 12, 15 projects. So it's like, how can there only be 173 people? Like, it's so
right,
disingenuous because you could just look at like all the other shit and be like, well, maybe this doesn't add up, you
exactly,
know? And not only that, but then you have to look at like them in the top 10 of coin market cap too. Like just overall, like how are they keeping 21 billion like if no one's using the chain? Wouldn't you use some forensics, look into it a little bit?
yeah,
Like you said, it's like it's part laziness and it's just part being disingenuous. And like they're trying to hide us. It's almost like they're trying to hide the fact that Cardano is like one of the leading blockchains in the space. And they're trying to hide, but here's what's happening. It's like they're making Cardano, I think, cooler because like we're the little
yeah. It's
guy.
like
You know what I mean?
counterculture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It's like the people that truly love like the cryptocurrency space like are kind of have the counterculture mentality, I would think. So for people to be like ignoring it and making it seem like the underdog almost helps us in a way, like for like cultural cool points or something like that. But um
Because it's like so fucking gay. I'm sorry, not gay. I'll have to
Mike,
edit that part out.
say a PC version of that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so freaking
It's so bussin'.
unchill.
It's so unchill.
You gotta
Okay.
cut out what you said and then cut just you saying bussin'.
Bussin'. I think it's so lame when you look on Twitter and you have like that guy you're fighting with, that Solana dude, and
Mhm.
he's just like all in the Solana stuff, and it's like you are basically like blowing VCs for your. It's so lame. Like, why would you want like daddy to give you your monies? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather be a part of a community that like we're all gonna we're doing this together, you know, like as opposed to being like, well, if JP Morgan says I can have my money in this hardware wallet, then it's okay, you know.
Yeah.
And you're seeing a lot of that shit where it's like JP Morgan bought MetaMask, so it's like you're basically creating the same system that we already have. So why don't I just use my, you know, Chase app and
Right.
put my NFTs
I'm
on
sure
that? And
it's all
it's
gonna be
like,
one thing of it if they own it already.
right. And it
But it's
defeats the whole purpose of blockchain to begin with. So I don't even know why they
yeah.
do it. I mean, obviously, those people are more about the money in itself and like not the utilization, because we're not even at the point where we have apps that really change people's lives. And like
Yeah.
we're talking about like micro loans to Africa and shit like that, where you're gonna have run into issues with different governments playing around and uh like you're not gonna be able to do that shit on Ethereum. You're just not. And same with Solana, like because if those guys are in cahoots with JP Morgan and all these big banks, they're gonna be like their lawyers are gonna be like, whoa, 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 you can't do this. Like you're
Mhm.
gonna run into like issues. And like if if you have to have a whole lawyers department to be like, you can't loan somebody in Africa $5, it's like, well, then we're doing this wrong. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like,
It makes me sad, Eric. I think these people need to realize like there's a lot more to this shit than just making you instant. Like if you're a millionaire, making you $10 million. It's more
yeah.
about helping the little guys out, the guys who don't have. You guys are worried about yachts and shit, and these guys are trying to make it to next week. You know, and that's what pisses me off because we got a lot of work in that department still.
Yeah. I feel like we're the like like in baseball or basketball, like there's teams that are really good throughout the whole season, but then towards the end they trail off.
Yeah,
And there's teams that like get hot at the end and then they're the ones who are like a risk to win it all because they've been building towards like the precipice instead of like flaming out once they reach like, the height of their abilities. I think I feel like Cardano is like, we've been building for so long slowly but
yeah.
surely, and now we're getting hot at the right time.
Oh yeah,
And
that's what it
then
feels
people
like
see it
too.
as like a threat, it's like, oh shit, like we gotta nip this in the bud because they're coming for our attendees.
It's undeniable. I mean, even in the charts, you're seeing it week over week. Like when everything's just going flatline, Cardano's like in a bear market, it's going up 1-2%, you know, every day, and it's like even if you're a day trader, you're gonna have to jump on the bandwagon because it's just easy profits if this thing's the only thing that's going up, you know.
Yeah.
And then I just like even the FUD on it, it doesn't even make sense. Like when you put that person in the corner, nail them down, and be like, why don't you like Cardano? There's never a good explanation. Absolutely never. You know what I mean?
not anymore. Like there used to be, people had like legitimate reasons, but now those reasons are being like we're actually solving those issues, and we're actually like we're tackling all the biggest complaints. So now it's hard for people to even know. Like they don't even educate themselves enough to know like why Cardano would be bad. They're just using what they've heard in the past, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it feels anyway. And then like you see people from Ethereum who like support both. And it's like you don't have to be the asshole who's like fuck Cardano. Like you could like multiple things and no one's going to be like, "Hey,
No.
look at this guy. He
No one
likes."
gives a shit.
Yeah.
It's just like what you like.
Doesn't
Like you
matter.
don't have to. But like the thing that bothers me is when you outright attack it, but you attack it on lies, things that aren't even true. Like if you had real legitimate concerns, that's fine. But then you also have people who like there's this one, I forgot her name, but she was like hardcore into Lunaterra, and at the same time just
Mhm.
shitting all over Cardano, and it was so disingenuous because she was like this developer, but yet she didn't see the holes in Lunaterra. At the same time, she was shitting on Cardano. So it's just like some of
Yeah.
these developers are so weird to me that they're just have their head up their ass sometimes.
Yeah. And then all the Luna people are just kind of gone now. Like they were, they were really loud like while it was dying, and then now they're just quiet because they're like, shit, we're done, I think.
Yeah,
And if
even
you
looking at Luna 2, it's like it went up to like $12 and now it's less than $2. And I think it'll probably keep going down because the whole point of Luna 2 was to pay
was to
back all the
liquidate
people.
the
Yeah,
rest of the
exactly.
people. Yeah.
And then you look at their tech and their tech sucks because what do they use? They use Polkadot, they use Cosmos, and like Cosmos is okay. Like their main DEX just got $5 million taken away from them. They had to turn it off. Uh, and so
Wasn't
who do we
that
got left, Eric? Elron too. Elron, you
oh
gold
yeah, that's
people,
what I
they
was
got
thinking.
hacked as well. Uh, so the only chain that hasn't been hacked yet, and guys, I understand it's
Don't
coming.
jinx it,
Like
Mike.
we will have a hack. There's just too many people building on Cardano for it not to happen. But as of today, Cardano's numero uno.
We are
Knock
the
on wood.
best. Yeah, I don't like you saying that, but your dog knocked on wood too.
Yeah.
Because you'll probably jinx it. But
Jinx.
what do you think of are there any NFTs that have caught your eye lately?
Yes. Yes. Uh,
Okay. Well, tell
numero
us.
uno for me.
I know what
A
you're
little
gonna say.
French group, not Daft Punk, Eric, but Raison
Aren't they
D'etre.
Spanish? Uh Poisson.
Raison
Poisson de
D'etre.
toi. No, I don't know how to say
D'etre.
it, you guys.
D'etre.
Guys, I
These
went
are
to
my.
Paris last year, so I'm pretty much French at this point. So I know how to say it, but Mike, you got to give him a little leeway.
Just
So
a
what do you like
touch.
about these Poisson?
Let's go to their Twitter page. Okay, so Eric, Raison D'etre. Let's start with the trailer for this bad boy. Not many NFTs have trailers, but they do. And I want to watch it because I think it's legit. That's French for legit.
Léger.
Legit.
All right, 1 second. Put the sound. Here we go.
Let's get into this thing. We hear the cold. Yas, queen. Love it. Only the beginning, folks.
Pretty
Love to
cool,
see
Mike.
it.
3, 6, 20.
Yeah, so the mint already happened.
Tried to
Love to see it,
mint,
Eric.
failed,
Failed.
but still got some, Mike, because you made me believe in these
So it's a
cryogenesis.
cryogenesis chambers. There's only 1,000 of them. It's kind of like their whitelist token for the rest of the project. They're trying to, I don't know exactly what they're trying to do, but it feels like a video game. Um, but the team is just superb. If you want to just like zoom in on some of the actual figures and stuff, like they're pretty, like the amount of detail in these guys is pretty awesome. The 4K versions in Pool PM, but yeah, top right.
Mhm.
And then just get in there. So they're pretty sick. You can see the level of attention to detail on these guys, and it's pretty awesome. I just think a team like this that has this kind of quality control on their cryogenesis, like their first project of 1,000, they kind of were just throwing out feelers to be like, do people want this or not? You know, and now that they have the money to like go full bore, the next thing is going to be their profile pictures, and that's going to be pretty sweet. Um, they are doing, if you do hold one of these cryogenesis, you will be put in for a chance to win, uh, to do like your own face, which is pretty sweet. Um, so basically, they're gonna take a scan of your face and then make it into like the Raison D'etre like style, which is pretty epic. If you want to go like to the Twitter and look at the one of the artists, this is kind of what go to like 13RB, that guy, or maybe sorry, go back. Maybe it's that guy. Yeah.
Hamim.
So that his profile pic is kind of what they're gonna do to everybody who wins. I don't know how many winners there are gonna be, but obviously, if you have more of the, you know, the NFTs, you get a higher chance. Um, but I think they got the tech. I think they have the artwork. Um, they seem. I mean, look, even by that trailer, the trailer was sick as hell. You know, and it's like a AAA game type style. You know, so just pretty
Yeah.
excited for this project, and I kind of want a piece of it. It's doing pretty well in secondary right now. They
Yeah.
do zero marketing too. That's the other crazy part where it's like they're just not really on Twitter, like trying to sweep the floor, guys. They're not
Sweep
that
the
type of team.
floor.
But I'm pretty excited about this. I don't know where it's going. It's at its infancy, but I just think it's going to keep growing. Uh, and if you like sci-fi, jump in.
You know what it reminds me of? If I can spell these.
Yes.
It's pretty much the same
Yep.
idea. If you have one of these, you can buy any of their, or you get whitelisted for any of overexposed.
Next projects.
Yeah. So, I mean, these bad boys are going for 1K each.
Right.
Um,
I think that's what happens with the Raison D'etre.
yeah.
Um,
And I'm sure it fluctuates when it gets closer to a whitelisting events and stuff. So get them while they're hot, guys. There's only 1,000, so not financial advice. But yeah, I like those two. There's been a lot of you know, your typical projects that are derivative, like maybe this one.
What?
It's, they come out there, they do their thing, they go up for a little, they go down. Mike, I sold all my Mars birds. Um, didn't make a profit off of them.
Were you able to get
So
out of them?
I was. I maybe broke even.
Yeah, why don't you
But
tell the since you started with that a couple weeks ago, why don't you tell the crew what happened so they can kind of finish the journey with you?
let's finish the journey. Let me pull up the chart so they can get the full picture here. And some people might say, Eric, you got out too early. We're still in this thing. And to you, I say, I don't care. I want it out. So
Well, it was more of a like a you were trying something out.
experimental type thing.
It's an experiment.
Yeah. So basically, I got in like it was around like my cost was like 36 ADA or something. I started at like 30, probably started picking them up, and I got like 7. And then, sorry, my dog's being annoying. Hold on. Anyway, so that, I saw the volume start to go up. Like over here, you can see the volume going up. And I was like, I think this thing's going to 100, maybe 120. I've seen other projects that are derivative do something similar. So I kept buying them until I had, 7 at $36 ADA. And then it kind of peaked at like 60 ADA, 60, 70 ADA. And at that time, I was like, I should probably sell. Like, the volume's coming down. Like, it seems like this is probably the top. But part of me was like, you didn't do this to try to make, 2x or something. It wasn't even 2x. So I was like, just hang in there, see what happens. And then it kept coming down, and it had one more bump, and then it went to 80 ADA, but it was very short lived. It was probably like 6 hours, like where it hit that peak. And then I
Right.
started selling on the way down. I sold like one at 60, one at 50, a couple at 40. And then it like hit 40, kind of leveled out. And then it kept going down to 30. And I was able to sell like one more at 40, but then I was like, I'm just selling at 35, whatever I can get. And so I think I probably like broke even at like 36 or something. And then like the problem was the royalties are 12%. So it's like, even if you made a good profit, you weren't gonna
Made
like
nothing.
kill it. Yeah.
Right. That's crazy. I can't believe the royalties were that high. That's highway
Yeah.
robbery.
Yeah. It's insane. So, and then I think it went down to, and I was happy I sold, at that point, because ever since then it's just kind of bottomed out. Now it's at 27 ADA. But I did the experiment. What did I learn?
What did you learn, Eric?
Look at the royalty before you buy something, because I didn't. And
Is there a place
also,
to check that?
yeah, you just hover over this.
Ah.
Um, And I guess if you're trying to do this, you can't get greedy, you gotta sell the first peak, you know, because you don't know if there's gonna be another one. Because if you're holding it to hold it, then that's a different story. Like you can wait it out, but that's where I think I failed in my experiment because I was just trying to make profit and I still got too attached to the thing I didn't even want.
Right.
And
That's human nature, though, right?
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again with something else. But now that I've now that I've seen what happens, but it also was like they had like another mint of 1,000 like while I was trying to do it, so that kind of like threw everything off too because there was like more supply being thrown
They
in.
minted even more.
Yeah, like
Wow. So they didn't even close the policy. So all things
no, I
considered,
think
they
they
could
always
keep.
wanted that number, but they paused their mint because it didn't sell out or something.
That's awful.
And then they're like, well, people are buying them again. Let's open it back up. So that was it was fun either way,
It
Something
was. It was a good
something to
idea.
try.
You tried it. You live and you learn. Would you try it again with another derivative, or do you think you're done with derivatives at this point?
Mm, I'd rather try it on something less derivative. But it depends on like the situation. Like if the mint was low, I think like what you said about like getting in on the mint is probably the important thing because I didn't. But it's so hard because like I don't have time to do all that shit on Discord and like earn a whitelist spot. It's like I have like I work during the week and like I just can't be on Discord that much. And then I also just don't really care that much. Like I'll just, you know, if it's a project I really love, like I'll try it. But
And I think
and
that's great
then
advice too.
yeah,
Like, it honestly, guys, it depends on how much time you have. If you have a day job and you have a family like Eric and I do, you just don't have enough time to just sit in these discords and do all the games they make you to do to get on that whitelist. Because some of that shit is so intense, and it's like there's 10 steps, and they're just like, hey, retweet your friend, tag your friend on this one, go to this website and do this. And it's just like, I have shit to do. I'm not going to do this for every single project. And even if you do believe in it, like I would just much rather pay the extra fee and get it on the secondary market on JPEG Store if you believe in it. You know what I mean? And it's fun and it's nice when you can get whitelisted, but at the same time, it's like, um, I think you like depending on where you're coming from. And for me and Eric, I think the best thing that you can do is start to research projects with like some traction already, and then to
yeah,
buy in at a higher price, and then just hang on to it because if they have a nice team, like you're gonna get residuals off of that. Like Eric got me this shirt for my birthday. Kong Kong store, what's up? Let's go. Um, Kong follow Kong. Uh,
it's a good shirt, Mike.
it's a good shirt.
My
I've been
only
rocking it.
concern is that you'll spill on it and it'll be permanently stained. But
I'll get ketchup on the back somehow. Uh, but I'd much rather do that. Like that Raison D'etre, I'm gonna get whitelisted into their profile pictures, and I'll probably grab a couple of those, and I'll probably sell that, and then I'll be fucking even Stevens, you know,
yeah,
and then then I got money to play with, and then I can keep going because it's about surviving. You don't know what's gonna make it. We're in a bear market, so shit's just not gonna pump off like it usually does. Like when shit goes crazy, everyone's making money. But right now it's more about finding those projects that have the funds secured and they can make it the next 6 to 12 months, maybe longer, who knows. uh But on that note, I do have one more project, the Felt Society. If you want to check that out on Twitter, this is a little bit more bohemian, a little bit more
Bohemian
avant-garde,
Rhapsody.
but I like these guys. They're not derivative; they're their own thing. Uh,
Felter Snatch Society.
excuse me? How dare you?
Hmm? Was that the right screen? I don't know.
You're on JPEG Store. JPZ.
JPEG store.
So
Give
this
them a
is the Felt
follow.
Society. Very cool. They're still minting. So if you guys want to go into their Discord, you can just I think one is 58 ADA, and you can mint as many as you want. But they're really cool. They're unique, they're different, high res, they're all done by
Wow,
hand. It's like
they're
it's kind of like
nice.
claymates, yeah. And I like it because it's just it makes you stand out. It's different, you know. And I like the art. It looks dope.
And what are they selling for on JPEG store?
I think they're below
Or
mint price right now. But that being said,
not a good sign.
not a good sign, Eric. But
But if you like the art,
if you like the art, support the artist. And also, like, if you want to mint through their Discord, there's still like a lot of one of ones, and the rare ones haven't been minted yet. So this shit always
I
happens,
check that
Eric. You
out.
know, check it out if you want to check it out.
We're in a we're in a bear market for NFTs too. Like everything that mints just goes to like way below
Zero
mint price for the most part. Unless it's like their Raison,
cornucopias.
those did well. Yeah,
Raison D'etre.
cornucopias kind of took over the whole landscape for a few days. That's like all that's up here, you know. And I'm not in it, so I've just been ignoring it, but I'm sure people have been making a killing on that. Did you
I
get
mean, no, I haven't because when we talked about this during our video game video, go check that out. Um, I just think it's already going below mid price, and I'll just wait another month or two, and I'll pick it up for cheap if it's like, and
it's
like
like the
everyone on Twitter,
pitches.
exactly
Like everyone gets psyched about it and then everyone
forgets
doesn't
about it.
care.
They forget, and they want to mint something else, so they're gonna sell
And
whatever
they're like,
assets they have, and they'll sell them for cheap, and I'm gonna pick them up. I'll be right there
yeah. And
because
then
I
they
can
come
hold
back
on to
up
stuff.
like when there's more news.
I can hold on to stuff longer than a couple weeks because I have that kind of patience. But most people
Yeah.
don't, and I think that's where you end up winning is when you're capable of holding on to these assets for longer than a couple months. You know, most people are very short sighted with this stuff, but believe in the stuff you believe in. You know,
Yes,
and just double
definitely.
down sometimes. If last bear market taught me anything, it's do not sell your assets that you believe in. Just hang on to them, and even the shitty assets, everything went up last time. so, so
Do you
if the
think
team's still around,
NFTs in general will like go way up, or do you think like when ADA goes like $2 or something, do you think NFTs will follow, or only the blue chips will follow, or what do you think? What's your
yeah,
prediction?
I honestly don't think most people even know about NFTs yet, and when they do, they're gonna be all over it because you show most like regular people NFTs, they love artwork, like that's fucking cool, and I get to own it, and it like increases in value over time. It's like the best. Here's the problem: most people aren't gonna go get a hardware wallet. They're not gonna go get a Cardano off of Coinbase or Voyager. Wait a couple weeks, send the money to their wallet, and then so how do you how do you like circumvent that?
Yeah.
And I do have the answer for you.
Let's hear it.
NFTmaker.io has a fiat gateway to buying NFTs now, which is pretty fucking
Really?
sweet. So instead of having to buy Cardano first, um, they'll let you pay for their NFTs with just your credit card, which is really fucking cool.
That's
And I
very
think
cool.
this opens up a lot of new gateways for people to start buying assets on Cardano without having to set up a wallet. Um, it's just a great idea. And like teams like this, these are the teams you want to watch out for, guys, because they're the ones kind of building the things that are going to change everything, you know?
Yeah, they're doing a good job. They're getting their name out there a lot too.
And
And all
and
the
and
mints I've
and
done through them have been
yeah.
really good.
If you really believe in them, go buy their token and you can farm it on MintSwap for a cool 260% right now. So
What?
if you want to be
I didn't
like
know that.
Mike, I'm farming it right now because that is very lucrative. It's all the way at the bottom.
Damn.
Yeah, so
I got to do that.
look into it,
Has their
folks.
token been going up or
It's doubled in price already.
Jesus? Should have
It
listened to
was
you
a
the
hat.
first
It was
time.
yeah, yeah. So look into
Well,
that, guys.
I was gonna buy clay, but now maybe I'll buy maker. Uh that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Um hmm. Something that happened to me, Mike. So Yummy Universe tweeted out something a while ago saying like, "Hey, this
You want to make us big real quick? If you're gonna go into a
sure."
story.
So they tweeted out a thing saying like, "Hey, if you guys have Yummy that we airdrop to you, there's this NFT project called Sketchies that you can mint using your Yummy tokens." And I was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool. I can actually use my tokens for like an actual thing instead of just on a Dex or something." So I was like, let me mint a bunch of those. So I minted what, 3 of them for like 10,000 Yummy or something. And this was when Yummy was not doing anything yet. So I was like, cool, I got these 3 sketchies and they're cool looking. Like I like how they looked. And I had them for like a week. And if the price went to like under the mint price, and then I was like, wow, I wasted my money, but at least I have these nice sketchies. And then um maybe another week later, the sketchies team was like, hey, we're we have some like personal stuff going on. We don't think we're going to be able to continue this project. And like, we love you guys, but we're not going to be able to keep doing it. And I was like, nice. My first rug pull, like it's pretty sweet. But then they were like, what if you guys bought our NFTs and you want a refund, we'll refund you. If you want to keep them, we'll let you keep them. They're not worth anything, but if you like them, we're not going to take them. And we'll even give you more if you want more. But so I was like, that's nice, but I would like my money back. And then so I thought they were just going to give me ADA or something. But they're like, if you bought with Yummy, we'll give you Yummy back. Even though like the price doubled, or it went from like, or like tripled probably. Since that. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get it, but maybe they'll do it. So I send it to the address. And sure enough, Mike, the next day I got my Yummy back. So I just wanted to say that was really cool of them to like, keep their word. And give people their refunds because it's really easy to just be like, sorry, we can't do it anymore, but we also need to keep your money because we need money for stuff. But they didn't do that. So good job. That was
Good
the best
job,
rug pull I've
sketchies.
ever been a part of. It was
It
like
was very successful.
a soft
I mean,
rug pull.
a shout out to them because I've never ever heard any team giving the money back. I mean, that's incredible that they would do something like that, and hopefully, whatever happened there, they can figure their shit out and try again with a new project or something else. It's sad when shit like that happens, but at the end of the day, this is capitalism, this is business, and shit goes wrong sometimes. And I mean, the fact that they did that for the people, that gives them good grace. Hopefully, they don't leave the ecosystem. They just learn from their mistakes and try to do something better next time. But probably not. uh,
They're probably
it's
done.
it's
But
I did read that Discord thing that they wrote, and it just seems like the dude didn't know what he was doing, and he kind of was
in over his head.
he way over his head, and he probably needed a bigger team for himself, and he just didn't realize how hard this shit is to do. And that's why I give mad props as much as I can, because I understand how hard the shit is to do. I haven't done it. I'd love to do an NFT project, but it seems like way too stressful. I'd rather just be a buyer.
It's like the opposite of what the the Clapes, or is that who did it? With
Claypez.
their roadmap,
Oh yeah.
how they like totally copied it from Shield Kongs, and then their apology on Discord was like, "We hired this bitch to do our," like pretty much blaming this whoever like created their roadmap. Like
So
they hired this
they hired a
girl,
lady off of like
and
Fiverr, a graphic
yeah,
designer off of Fiverr, and they gave her 3 roadmaps, and one of them was Chilled Kongs, and they're like, we want it to be like this, but don't copy it. And
well, we
this is
don't know that they
hearsay.
said
This is
that.
literally what
Yeah,
they told us. So for all intents and purposes, it could have just been copy this and change it a little bit, because they basically just photoshopped everything and like
but
made the
they said
Kongs
like
look like.
we noticed certain things were like exactly the same, and we told her to get rid of it. But it's like, if you have any like,
Change
I
the
mean, if you
format.
have
Change the
any
format, for crying
credibility
out
for
loud.
your, or you want your project to be like successful, like just hire someone else. Like, you don't
But you
want
already knew the
to put that
project. The
out
project
there.
in itself is derivative. It's a fucking
Yeah,
ape. Like they already were copying from the jump. It's not like this thing was super unique and original.
original.
And then they're like, oh dear, like you knew they're copying shit all the way down. It's copy paste. It fucking sucks. I really wish people would stop buying these projects on Cardano, because it's embarrassing, to be honest. But
I
you
didn't know
know,
we were gonna go
hope
that hard on them, but I agree. It's
it's
like,
embarrassing, dude.
it's like
It's like, come on,
Play
man.
Nation, and then Chilled Kongs, like, or any ape project, like they put it together and they're like, this is original now. It's like, we see what you're trying to do. Like, it's not, and they don't even
But
look
the
half
format
as
in
good
itself
as
is art. The format in
Play.
itself is art. Like you have Fud Buddies behind you, totally unique, fucking cool. Their marketing is anti-marketing. Awesome, I love it. It's fucking different.
It's
Go.
hilarious.
It's different. Let's go. Let's try shit out. Let's be different. Like just because someone has a successful path doesn't mean everyone else has stuff. Like this is how we do this now. This is our roadmap. This is our merchandise. This is it's like it doesn't all have to be the same shit. I don't know.
And some people are like, you can make, but you can make money off of like those projects. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to. Like, I want to make money off. So I want to give someone my money who did something different. Like, I
You want
want
to
to
do something
reward
unique, right?
creativity.
Like, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You want somebody to push the boundaries of what is capable of what it like an NFT is, and like redefine it, because at the end of the day, it's just like a policy ID. that's connected to the blockchain, and like the rest is up to you. And the fact that everyone does the same exact fucking thing over and over again, it's like how many fucking ape projects do we need? Before it's like this isn't cool anymore. Or like I saw one today, like a new fucking one, like space mutant apes and shit like that. And it's just like, God damn, you guys don't like because you
Or
still have to
Hoskin
try
goblins.
Hosking goblins. Like you still have to upload it a website, make like upload all these images, and
You're
it's
still
like
doing work, dude.
you're wasting energy, like doing something on the off chance that it's gonna make you what $10,000 maybe. It's like, God damn, like if you would just try half as hard and do something original, I'm sure it would do way better. And people
Yeah.
just don't, and
It's
it's
almost
sad to
like you
see.
just don't believe in yourself enough
Yeah,
to, when you probably could have just released something original and marketed it just as hard and
right.
been maybe more successful.
More successful. That's the thing. People like the more you fucking risk, the more you try something to be different and like just be original. That's what people want to see. And like, and that's what me and Eric can try to invest in all the time. Even if it isn't successful, like you never know what happens in 12 months. It could be like a huge project, like Kongs and Clays weren't super successful when they first started, and then they became
Yeah.
successful. So it's like you just don't know, you know, and like they're all just starving artists at the beginning too, and it's like you never know what someone's capable of. And now look at them, look at Clay. We got the consensus, and they're all there, and it's kind of cool, man. Like it's just fucking fun, and you want to see more of that shit. I don't want to see any more apes. In conclusion,
Except for the one on your shirt.
except for this one. All right.
This ape has my heart. I wish it was like one of those targeted shirts on the back where it's like, I was born in June and I'm a badass motherfucker. Fuck with me and they'll never find your body. Chilled Kongs.
That'd be awesome.
But I think that's all I got, Mike.
That's gonna do it for us, guys. We love
It was
you.
a good conversation. Love you
Good
guys.
rip.
We'll talk
Make
to
sure
you
you
next week.
subscribe. Hit that like button. We'll talk to you next week. We got more goodies for you.